everybody, and hope you're doing well, and welcome back to another video. This is actually quite a belated video because this is the mid-year book freakout tag. I absolutely love watching these tag videos, and I love making them as well. So here's my rendition. I've kept all of like the normal questions, and I've also added a few of the ones that How to Train Your Gavid did in his version as well, because I wanted to, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so I watched like so many of like previous years and this year's. I did last year's as well. I'll link it up there if you want to check that one out. And yeah, that's basically the intro to today's video, and without further ado, let's get on with it. So question one of my revised version is, how has 2023 been going for me, like reading wise? And it's actually been going really good. All what I'm going to talk about has been only up to June, the end of June, so anything that I have read since then I'm not including in it because it's not like correct, because I should have done it beforehand. But anyway, up until June I've read 83 books, which I am super happy about. Granted, a lot of them have been kind of shorter, but I have still read quite a few longer books, but that doesn't really like matter, I guess. I don't know. Page wise, came out to 14,161 pages, and I've listened to 146 and 15 minutes and 15 seconds of audiobook time as well. Some has been like listening whilst reading, and this is from like my statistics through like my like spreadsheets. So I'm really happy with that. Of course I could have read more, could have read less. I don't know. I'm happy with that number, with the numbers. I do still want to try and read a few more longer books instead of just reading short books, but I struggle with long books, and I know what I like. I like shorter books that are impactful, and I can get through them and hold my attention. So at the moment I'm sort of just reading books that I know I'm gonna enjoy and like, and it's working for me, and that's really what I'm happy with. So yeah, what I am really happy about is that of the 83 books I've read, 19 have been translated works, which works out to about 22%. So I'm so happy about that, and it is something I've been trying to work on, reading more translated fiction and translated works in general. So this is something I'm definitely going to continue moving on throughout the rest of the year, and just trying to diversify what I read, in terms of like where the book has come from and who it's by, and like just the content. So yeah, I'm really happy, and just more to come, basically more to come in the future for the rest of the year. Question 2 is, what is the best book I have read in 2023 so far? I have actually got 4 options because I found it so difficult to pick. I think I'm going to try and narrow it down to 2, and then maybe the one right now of what I'm currently thinking, but it changes so often at the moment. But these are the 4 that are currently my top 4 from the first 6 months of the year. The first was Notes on Execution by Daniel Kafka. This book is incredible. It's about like a serial killer, but it's told from the perspective of 3 different women that were sort of in his life, but only for like brief moments, and it is just incredible. And it's also told from his POV on the day of his execution, through like a third, no, second person like perspective. So it's like, you do this, you do that, and just the pacing is just the most, it's the best paced book I have ever read ever. And it is just, is so beautifully written despite the themes, and I just recommend this wholeheartedly. It is exceptional, and it's stuck with me since January. Absolutely love it. And it's like a thriller. I wouldn't have thought I would love a thriller like as much, but it's more sort of like, I guess it is more literary fiction as well, so that is why I did love it as much. But yeah, so recommend this. Then also we got to have it, Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is the story of the Iliad, I believe, sort of like retelling by Miller, but it makes Achilles and Patroclus have a gay relationship, which like they had, of course they had, but it tells a story from sort of like Patroclus's perspective, and from like him like growing up into through like the Trojan War and ending then, because that is when it ends. It is extremely emotional. It does get quite very slow in the middle, and it made me question a few things, but it held my heart, and it made me so emotional, and it is just such an incredible story, and it's such an amazing book, and I absolutely love the characters and the quotes and everything. And like I have like my screensaver is a quote from the book. Here's half of my soul, as the poets say, because I adore it. I absolutely love this book, so it has to be one of my favorites. Then two books that I read in the same month, which was June, Pride Month, because I was reading only queer books during that month. And the first one is one that I wanted to read since I read Becoming Ted by Matt Cain at the end of last year. I wanted to read everything by him because I really love that book, but I thought I'd try and wait, so I waited till June to read this, which is Madonna of Bolton. And I absolutely love this, like I thought I would. This follows Charlie as he's growing up, basically from like 7 to like his like 30s ish. So basically the biggest time of someone's life when they change, and it goes through him sort of like coming of himself and realizing who he is and what he is and his sexuality, and just being himself. And it epitomizes the notion of it gets better, and it perfectly encapsulates this notion of like queer shame. And it was so emotional, and I don't know if I was just having the feels at the time, but it just made me so emotional, and I just had such an impact from this book. But I just absolutely adored it, and I just loved it so much. I don't know, it was just everything, and the British references, the 80s references, and Madonna references, everything was just so good. So definitely one of my favorites. And then right at the end of the month, this one just sneaked in, and it has to be a contender for the favorite of the year. This is Tin Man by Sarah Winman. Oh my god, go into this blind. You have to go into this blind to get the best reading experience of this. All I'm going to say is about two boys, Ellis and Michael, who are inseparable, and then they become men. Annie walks into their lives, and that's what I'm going to say. It is heartbreaking, it is queer, it is it is a book. It is a book, and yeah, I don't know. it's sort of it's slightly like My Policeman in a way, but everything is just done so much better, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's sort of, in a way, a little bit, but also no. But yeah, I don't know. These are definitely my favourite 4 of the year so far, from the first half of the year, because I've had some July books that might pop some of these out, but we shall see. If I had to maybe narrow it down to 2 right at this moment, I probably would have to knock you off. I'm sorry. I think I'll have to knock you off. Now, do I go for beautiful writing and exceptional prose and just like great like scenes and adventure and, you know, all that? Or do I go for realism and being seen and a book that just sort of changes the way you view what is a good book? I think I do. So I think this might possibly be, right at this moment in time, this is the one I would say is my best book of the year so far. The Madonna of Bolton by Matt Kane. Well done. You have that place. Congratulations. Question number 3 is, what is the best sequel I've read in 2023? And that is Boys Run the Riot, Volume 2 by Keiichi Gaku. That is because it is the only sequel I've read this year. It's a manga, but I did really enjoy it. So the same, I read it during the Translight readathon. It's about a trans boy in like school, and him and his friend are sort of like creating like a clothing brand. But it's not just about that, it's also sort of about like tackling like society's like prejudices against like the notions of like what is like normal, and like challenging like the status quo and stuff, and it's just a really like fun read, and I'm really enjoying it, and I definitely need to get to like volume 3 and 4. I just haven't had the time yet, but I do really enjoy it, and the author is trans himself, and so is all like the English translation team, so I would so recommend that manga. But yeah, that is what I would have to and can only say for this question. Question number 4 is, what's a new release you haven't read yet but want to? I've got 2 for this question. Both of them I wanted to read in July, but I just didn't get around to them. I started one, I did a TikTok poll, and this one won. So I started it, and I am sort of enjoying it, but it's just because it's not my genre. So I'm sort of taking it slow, and I didn't actually lose interest, but I just wasn't really in the right headspace, I guess, for a book like this, and I just wanted to read sort of contemporaries and some other things. But that is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I feel like it's certainly doing a rounds on TikTok and BookTube and Bookstagram and everywhere right now. It's sort of like a fantasy, but yeah, I do definitely want to read this, because even people that don't particularly read fantasy are really enjoying this, so I do want to give it a try and hopefully enjoy it as well. I think I've got to page 44, chapter 4, so not that far in, because it's like a 400 and something page book, 400 or nearly 500 page book, but I do want to get back into this. clear my head a bit more, and then I'll be ready to start that again. But that answered the question. And also, I think this came out on like the 1st of July. But I got it before then because for some reason it was in the shops like before, like at the end of June, like before it was actually meant to come out. I just saw it in there and I used my like £10 off of Waterstones from my card because I really wanted to buy it. So I did. So I'm counting this one as the question because that's what I was going to do before then anyway. And that is Penance by Eliza Clark. I really want to read this. I read Boy Parts earlier this year. I didn't mind it. I think I gave it like 3.5 or 3 point something stars. But this definitely sounds super interesting. And quite a lot of like people that have read like arcs of it, that I trust their reviews, have really enjoyed it. So I am super excited for this. It's sort of like a murder mystery-ish thing, and it's sort of like done like true crime, but like it's fiction. But yeah, cannot wait to get to this. I really hope I can maybe get to this month, but we shall see, because I'll speak a little bit later, but I do have some plans for this month that I'll talk about in this video. So yeah. Question number 5 is my most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I only really have like one, I guess, and that is Heartstopper Volume 5, the penultimate volume in the Heartstopper series. Absolutely adore Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. I just adore it. It's just lovely. It's about 2 teenage boys, one's bi, one's gay, and they're lovely friends and family, and just it's just great. It's so heartwarming. It's just everything. It deals with like other topics as well, like eating disorders and like mental illnesses and like bullying and loads of different things. It's all done in a very well like done way, and it's just amazing, and I'm just so happy that it's a thing for like younger people to have. So I cannot wait for that to come out and to continue the journey with Nick and Charlie. Also the second series has recently came out. I haven't watched it yet because I was busy yesterday, but I'm definitely gonna binge that very soon. But I want to rewatch season 1 first, and then I'll watch season 2. But yeah, I can't wait for that. Other ones I don't really know. I haven't really been like checking up on new releases. I just like see when they come and then see, but I'm definitely trying to be on a book buying ban because I have so many at the moment. So I don't really plan to get anything else for like a long time. It's just only going to be Heartstopper when it comes out. So yeah, that's all I have for that question. Question number 6 is my biggest disappointment of the year, and that has to be Herland by Charlotte Perkin Gilmans. Oh my lord above, I absolutely despised this book. It is honestly the worst book I've ever read, like ever. I absolutely hated it. I have a whole like read and review like rant-ish video on my channel. I hated it with a passion. It's a disappointment because it's aimed and it's like marketed as like a lost feminist utopia. I'm sorry, where? I'm sorry, how? I'm sorry, who? Like, it's not. How is it a feminist utopia? Because okay, so like all of them are women, and like I guess in some respects it's like women are like the focus, which is of course good, but everything about these women, everything about them is their whole drive and their whole personality, and everything that is important to them is solely based down to their like function and their like ability to create babies and have babies and care for babies, and like that is literally like the main thing and like the only thing they care about. And the fact that like there's like eugenics and like sort of like genocide and like sort of like hinted at like racism and like ableist sort of like ideals and things is just, it's just horrible. I absolutely hated it. And the outward like racist and sexist and misogynistic like things that people say in the book are just, it's just absolutely disgusting. When I was reading it, well, listening to it, I was literally, I had to like stop, and I was just like no, 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 no. No, 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 no. I wanted to like, I seriously, I wanted to just like throw my phone at like something, at the floor, at the wall, at like out the window. Like, no. I hated this book. Like, 1 star, like, if I could give it less, I would. The only way I would recommend this book, if you want to like read it from like a sociology sort of like perspective about like examining sort of like maybe like the like philosophy or like the politics or whatever, I don't know, of the like the culture and stuff, but otherwise it is utter garbage. The writing and the like the actual like linguistic value of it is total crap. I hated it. Such a massive disappointment. If you don't know already, I hate it. It is utter crap. Question number 7 we have is my biggest surprise of the year so far, and this I have got 3 books for. The first again is Notes on Execution by Daniel Kafka. This is in here because, like I said, it is like a thriller book. I am not a thriller person. The last year, the only thriller book I read was Paper Ghost by Julia Herberlin, and I think that was my worst book of the year so far. Like last year, I absolutely hated it. So like I was apprehensive about reading this because it's like a thriller, but like I said, it is exceptional. So it was like a massive like turnaround, and I was not expecting to love it so much. And also it's a surprise because like the themes of it, of like murder and like it deals with like some heavy topics, but the way it's done is just, it's such a beautiful read as well. And it's so weird because it's weird to explain. You have to read it to see like how well it's like done. But yeah, like I said, so recommend. It's an amazing book, this. And then in a similar vein, we have Confessions by Kane Minato. This is translated from Japanese by Stephen Snyder. This again is sort of like a thriller book, like a crime book. I really love this. It was just so good and so like interesting, and I was just here for it. Like, it was like revenge, and I just was here for it. I was so here for it, and I wasn't expecting to be like that because, yeah, I don't know. I loved it. Basically, it follows like a teacher, and she knows that some of her pupils like were responsible for killing her like 4-year-old daughter, I believe. And it's like the last day of term, and she's ready to get her revenge, and she starts by like having like a monologue sort of like with them, and then there's multiple chapters after, and it just sort of like shows how like her revenge sort of like spirals out of control, and there's like different characters and like different like ways of presenting the story, and it's just so innovative and just so like really different, and I would so recommend this as well. And finally, I would recommend Animal Farm by George Orwell. I read this when I was in like year 8, I believe, first of all, and I absolutely hated it. I think that's probably because I was like studying it or whatever, or I just didn't really get to enjoy it. I was just looking for all the symbolism and stuff. But when I read it a second time, I already knew the symbolism and understood like what it was about, like the Russian Revolution, but I was just able to like enjoy it, and I did really enjoy it. Last year I read 1984 and I didn't really like that book very much. I think I gave it like 3 stars. But I really really enjoyed Animal Farm. I listened to it as an audiobook. I think I gave it like 4.5 stars. When I finished reading it, I was like, oh my god, this is definite 5 stars. But after considering it, I was like, no, it's probably not. It's like more like a 4.5. But yeah, I would so recommend it. If you don't know what it's about like animals that take over like the farm from like a revolution, and then sort of like the pigs become like the new leaders, and it's sort of like the same as it was before. It's basically communist Russia, how it like was the same as Tsarist Russia. I did that for A levels, like 1800s to 1950s, something like Russia, so I know the story. But yeah, I really loved that, and I was not expecting to love that book. I didn't really think it's weird to say I loved the book, because I didn't really love it, but I appreciated it and I enjoyed it, and it's a very well written book, and just how it's portrayed, I guess. But yeah, so recommend that. Question number 8 is my favorite new author. I don't really know like who I'll say for this, but just because I thought I'd just find a quick answer, I probably would say Madeline Miller for this year. I've read her 3 like books that are out, and I enjoyed all of them. The first was Galatea. This is about sort of like Galatea, who was like the statue wife of Pygmalion. Really good, really tiny little book, but this is a short story that is so well paced, and it's done really well. And then, like I said, Song of Achilles, it's exceptional, amazing book, really recommend. And then also Circe, which is again such an amazing book, about the witch Circe. This is like a retelling of the Odyssey by Homer, and it's sort of like a feminist retelling, and it's really amazing. So yeah, all of these I would recommend. And I really, please can you write another book, Madeline? I would so love another one. Just don't let us like wait. I think it's like another like 7 years or something, I think, since like the release of these 2. So hopefully another one's on the cards soon. So yeah, definitely she's become an author that is probably an auto buy now. So if she does come like out with a new one, I will probably buy it like straight away. So thank you. Question number 9 is my newest fictional crush. And okay, I'm gonna say a quick caveat. The person I'm gonna choose, they are currently 17 in the book, but that's a problem. But it's not the fact that they're 17 or like that, it's their like personality that I love, and that is why I love them. So obviously if I was 17 or if they were 23, then it would be like a proper crush. But it's more just I like their personality and who they are more than like their like physicality or anything like that. Like that's not like why I'm attracted to them. Like I'm not really attracted to them, I'm just I like their like brain and like who they are as a person. And that is Dylan from Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Shirley. And the reason I love Dylan's like personality so much is because he is such a lovely character. He's so nice, and he has such a lovely passion for like cooking and his like heritage and his culture, and like his Singaporean and like Chinese culture, and like sharing it with other people, and like holding it dear to his heart, and making sure he he like has that connection to remain close to like those that he has lost in the past, and also to allow others around him to make that connections with those that they have lost as well. He has such a strong bond with his family, and he clearly loves and appreciates them, and he's just been brought up so well. And he's just such a great, lovely person, and I would just like love to meet and be with someone like that just has like such a passion and such a lovely heart like that. So yeah, I'll definitely say someone like Dylan Tang from this book. And this is, like I said, it's about Dylan, and he meets Theo, who is sort of like wealthier than him, and they sort of like, it's sort of like about like fake dating. This book is exceptional, by the way. I absolutely love this book. It's a YA book, and I would so recommend that. Question number 10 is my newest favorite character. This is quite a hard one because I don't really know, but I think I would probably say maybe Charlie from The Madonna of Bolton. I just think I had such a strong bond with him. There was so much like relatability and so many things that I found myself within him and his like personality, and there was just so many similarities and things, and I just loved him as well. And he makes like some bad decisions, and good ones as well, and he's just so real, and that I don't know, it's just he really, well, clearly he adds to the book because he's the main character, but he's just amazing, and I just loved him. So yeah, I would say Charlie from this book. And he loves Madonna, so like clearly he's a great character. If you love Madonna, come on. Question number 11 is a book that made you cry. I definitely have been crying like a lot more than I did last year with books. I don't know, I just feel like I've been tapping into the emotional side of a lot more. I've been not only like tearing up more, but I've also just been generally crying, and massively ugly crying a lot more. But I have a couple that have like fully made me cry. And these are just, I'm just going to do quick fire now for the next two questions because I've got quite a few words to show. Tin Man by Sarah Winman again. Frederick Backman's And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer. This is tiny. I was on the bus and I was like floods. It was a book. A reread for me, Lie With Me by Philippe Besson. It always gets me every time. That last letter. I can't. Notes on Execution by Daniel Kafka. I wouldn't think it, but it did. Madonna of Bolton by Matt Cain. In my reading vlog, I cried for a solid like 20 minutes on this book in one go, and then there was more times as well. And The Song of Achilles. Yeah, of course I did. Yeah. Question number 12 is a book that made you happy, and I have got quite a few more of these because a lot of them made me happy because I've been reading the books that have been preferably trying to make me happy. But yeah, here we go. Quick fire with these. Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Cher Lee. The Madonna of Bolton by Matt Cain. Did it both ways. Our Dining Table by Mita Ori. This was adorable. Look at little Tane. It's so sweet. And Not So Lonely Planet Travel Guide by Boni Sorai. Cannot wait to continue the series. Mooncakes by Wendy Xu and Suzanne Walker. The artwork is beautiful in this. Oh, Non-binary and death rep. Yes, please. Thank you very much. So recommend that. Small Town Pride by Phil Stamper. Where were the queer, like, middle grade books when I was growing up? I didn't have them. Also, Sounds Like Fun by Brian Moriarty. Matilda by Roald Dahl. Princess Ever After by Kay O'Neill. Question number 13 is a book you saw on TikTok but you regret reading. I've got 2 of these and they're both ones that I read for my Colin Hoover reading vlog. And they are November 9 and Ugly Love. I did actually DNF Ugly Love at like 40% or something. I really hated these. Yeah, I'm not really a Colleen Hoover person. I do feel like I'm going to try her out again, maybe some other one. Definitely I want to try Verity because it's going to be quite different. The reader ends with us, and that one was not too bad. I gave it 3.5 stars. I think she had some good things to say, but overall it could have been a lot better as well. But these 2 were kind of trash. Number 14 is what is the most beautiful book you have bought or been given this year so far. I have got 2 that I think I'm going to show for this. Both of these I got in a charity shop and I was like, wow. The first actually came out this year and it's a Waterstones signed exclusive edition. And I don't know how it was in the charity shop because it is beautiful. It is TJ Klune's In the Lives of Puppets. So already this cover is beautiful. But then, ba-bam. Look at that spread. Look at that spread. Look at that detailed spread. Ain't that lovely? So yeah, so that is one of the most beautiful books I bought this year from a charity shop. I think it was like £3 as well, like a bargain. And then also from another charity shop I got this this lovely edition of Dracula by Bram Stoker, which I'm reading for the Dracula Daily, where they send you an email of the the daily things that happen in Dracula, because it's an epistolary novel, so you can read it as it goes along in real time, and this is a really pretty edition. It's sort of I don't know, whatever this material is, and then sort of felt, and it's got an illustration there and there, and then bam. It's got a little bats on the spread. So yeah, that's a really nice addition. I'm a little bit annoyed because really it's got also nice end papers. Because really the novel is 600 something pages, but because this one is obviously bigger pages, it's only 400 something, so it's not going to count as many when I actually finish it, but whatever, it's a nice addition. We're coming to near the end now, and question number 15 is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So technically I don't really need to read any books by the end of the year, but I do have my 23 of 2023. Of these I've only read 2, so technically I've got another 21 still left to read. I do need to try and get through them, which I'm hoping to do. So yeah, them. And yeah, I guess there isn't really other ones I have to read. I do want to finish Dracula, but yeah, that. Number question 16 is what has been the favourite video I've made so far? I think my favourite was my first annual Book Awards 2022. I really enjoyed sort of making up the categories and thinking of the nominees, and which books were gonna be in each category and which one was gonna win, making it and everything like that. Really like that. I've been enjoying making the vlogs I've been doing recently, going on different adventures. Definitely have like some few more to come as well. And another one I also did like was my mythological March reading vlog, because they were all bangers in that video, so would recommend that. Question number 17 is any upcoming videos I'm excited to make. I have got some World Cup related videos coming, because currently the Women's World Cup is going on, so I'm not going to say what they are, but in case I don't get them done, but I do have a few ideas going around in my brain of some things that I would like to do for that, because I'm really enjoying watching the Women's World Cup at the moment. And yeah, that is some things. And then yeah, like I said, a few more vlogs, and yeah, just some more other ideas, I guess. And finally, question number 18 is what channel goals do I have before the end of the year? And I don't know if that's possible, but I would really like to get to 200 subscribers. I know it's sort of been lacking at the moment. I think I need to try and get to more of like a schedule of my uploading. But yeah, I would love to maybe get to 200 subscribers by the end of the year. I do think it's possible, but I just need to definitely put the work in and trying to be a bit more regular. But yeah, that is a goal. So yeah, I do really hope you enjoyed today's video, and yeah, put down below what was your favourite or least favourite book of the year so far. I do hope you have had a nice reading year already, and hopefully the rest of the year goes well for you. Have a nice morning, evening, night, wherever you are in the world, and I shall see you very soon. Bye.